Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Sparkle and Shine. I'm your host, Laila, and today we're diving into a topic that hits home, literally, for so many of us this time of year. Can you guess? Yeah, it's allergies. Now, spring is a beautiful time. We've got blooming flowers, chirping birds, and longer days to soak up the sun. But with all that beauty comes the not-so-fun stuff. Sneezing, congestion, itchy eyes, and that foggy-headed feeling you just can't shake. Can anyone else relate? Every spring, it's the same story for me. The second the jasmine starts blooming, my nose starts twitching. I'll wake up thinking I'm catching a cold, but nope, just pollen trying to take me down before breakfast. And I know I'm not alone. Here's what most people don't realize. Your floors, yes, your actual floors, play a huge role in how much you suffer during allergy season. They can either help you out or make things worse. I didn't always know that either, but when I started working with the incredible team at JP Carpet Cleaning Expert Floor Care, Jackie and Peter, the J and the P, they opened my eyes to just how many allergies are hanging about in our carpets, rugs, tile, and even our upholstery. So today we're doing a full allergy season floor care deep dive. You'll walk away knowing how floors contribute to allergies, what tools and routines actually help, which cleaning habits might be making things worse, and Jackie and Peter's top allergy tips for relief at home. So grab a cup of tea, maybe keep a tissue box nearby just in case, and let's breathe a little easier together. Starting from the ground up. Let's start with a little science. And don't worry, I'll keep it light. Carpets, rugs, and even hard floors act like giant air filters. They trap things like dust mites, pollen, pet dander, mold spores, and even tiny pollutants we track in from outside. Which sounds great at first. Yay, they're catching all the yucky stuff. But here's the problem. Those particles don't stay buried forever. Every time someone walks across the carpet, fluffs a pillow, or even vacuums without a HEPA filter, those allergens get kicked right back up into the air. This cycle happens constantly, and especially during allergy seasons like spring and autumn, when your windows are open and allergens are everywhere. The EPA and the American Lung Association both emphasize that deep cleaning your floors and carpets play a key role in managing allergy symptoms and improving indoor air quality. So yeah, your sneezing might not just be from the tree outside. It could be coming from your living room area rug. All right, now that we know the why, let's get into the how. Here are some super practical, totally doable steps to reduce allergens in your home without going full neat freak. Tip number 1, schedule regular professional cleanings. Jackie and Peter recommend scheduling carpet cleaning and upholstery cleaning once or twice a year, especially in spring or fall when allergens are at their peak. Steam cleaning gets deep into the carpet fibers, pulling out dust mites, pollen, and other gunk that vacuums just can't reach. Tip 2, vacuum more often than you think you need to. And I mean like 2 to 3 times a week minimum, especially in high traffic areas or if you have pets. Use a vacuum with a genuine HEPA filter, not just one labeled allergy-friendly. That filter is key to trapping the allergens instead of blowing them back out into the air. Go slow, overlap your strokes. Don't just race through like you're trying to beat a timer. Make it mindful. You'll be surprised what your vacuum picks up when you slow down. Tip number 3, use non-toxic, fragrance-free cleaners. This one is so important. Harsh chemical cleaners and even fresh scent ones can trigger allergic reactions or asthma. Look for plant-based or eco-certified products. And don't underestimate the power of simple ingredients. Warm water, a splash of white vinegar, and a drop of Castile soap can go a long way. And finally, tip number 4, choose a cleaning service you trust. Not all pros are created equal. JP Carpet Cleaning uses safe, environmentally friendly solutions and has years of experience working with allergy-prone families. If you're in the LA area, they're the real deal. So I'd check them out. Let's talk about benefits now, because honestly, they're bigger than you might think. Clean floors mean less coughing and sneezing, better sleep because you're not waking up stuffy all the time, less eye irritation, and honestly, just overall better quality of life. Let me tell you a story. One of JP's one of JP Carpet Cleaning's clients had a son who suffered from year-round allergies. They tried everything. Filtered HVAC systems, air purifiers in every room, diet changes, medication, you name it, they tried it. But nothing seemed to help. Then Jackie and Peter came in to do a top to bottom cleaning. Carpets, rugs, sofas, even curtains. And you know what? That very night, her son slept through the night for the first time in weeks. No sneezing, no congestion. And it wasn't some fancy air purifying system. It was just a deep clean of the soft surfaces that had been holding allergens hostage. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's not always about new gadgets or expensive filters. Sometimes it's about just giving your home a good, thorough cleaning and setting a new baseline for health. So, what's the best way to clean your carpets and keep them allergy safe? Step 1, vacuum regularly and well. Use a HEPA filter vacuum, kind of like I mentioned before. Take your time. Go in multiple directions. Hit corners and under furniture. For added help, consider a robot vacuum for in-between touch-ups. This would be something like a Shark or a Roomba. There's other brands, but I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. We have a Shark at home. I love it. It's not perfect, but it definitely makes a difference with pet hair and dust. I have to clean the filter, the like vacuum storage area like once or twice a week. And every time it's like I'm pulling an entire cat out of the bin. Thank goodness that exists. Am I right? Step 2 is steam cleaning, which is also called hot water extraction. This method uses pressurized hot water to flush out dirt and allergens from deep in the carpet. According to EPA studies, it can remove up to 98% of allergens. That's huge. JP Carpet Cleaning uses this method with low moisture technology to avoid mold or residue. And step 3, don't forget your upholstery. Sofas, ottomans, floor cushions, and curtains collect just as much dust and pollen as your floors. So when you schedule a professional clean, ask them to include those areas too. Your nose will thank you. Let's chat products, because not everything on store shelves is your friend during allergy season. Here are some tips for choosing allergy-safe cleaners. Always keep in mind that fragrance-free is your friend. Artificial scents can trigger asthma, irritate sinuses, and even exacerbate or generate migraines. Look for products labeled unscented and hypoallergenic. And honestly, I even mean your candles. Natural candles, beeswax candles, those are okay, but things, I think even soy wax is okay, but there are some brands, big name brands, that don't use the right products and they can actually make migraines worse. So even candles, artificial scents, just try to avoid them. You're going to want to also consider low VOC everything. VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, are found in a lot of cleaners and can lower your air quality fast. And then certifications. So certifications matter. You've got a whole bunch of them out there and you can look them all up to see exactly what they mean. But there's like the Green Seal Standard, Eco Logo, or EPA Safer Choice. These are all labels that mean that product met a certain safety and environmental standard or requirement. I would recommend taking a look at these different certifications and figuring out which one is the appropriate choice for you before you start just like picking all of them up, right? And then I would actually recommend looking up anti-allergen sprays. Products like AllerSearch ADMS help neutralize dust mites and pet dander on carpet and upholstery using certain products that aren't typically put in regular cleaning products. A few personal favorites: 7th generation free and clear for all-purpose cleaner. And then if you are looking for a vacuum with a HEPA performance, with real HEPA for performance, they're a little bit expensive, but the Dyson V11 or the Miele C3, C3 are really good vacuums that have real HEPA performance. Again, they're a little bit more expensive, but really worth the cost when you're trying to remove the allergens from your home. And again, none of this is sponsored. I use these and I trust them. So personal experience, right? So now that your home is clean and your products are on point, how do you keep things that way? Here are a few game-changing habits that make a big difference. And honestly, just adding 2 or 3 of these habits can dramatically reduce allergen levels in your home. So listen carefully, pause and repeat as needed so that you can kind of pick and choose which ones make the most sense for you. And if you're already doing some of these, fantastic. No need to change what you're doing. If you want to add more, cool. If you think you're good to go, then cool. So here are those game-changing habits. Vacuum at least 2 to 3 times a week, especially during allergy season. I know I mentioned this a few times before, but I really can't stress this one enough. Vacuuming will help. Consider using 2 doormats instead of just one. You would place one outside and one inside to help trap the pollen and dust before it spreads. Implement a no shoes policy indoors. It not only helps keep your floors so much cleaner, it also helps to reduce the dust and dirt and all the other bacteria that's tracked all over your home. It's wild. Another option that's a little bit more specific is controlling humidity. Dust mites and mold love moisture. So if you're able to keep your humidity under 50% with a dehumidifier or an air conditioner, that will absolutely help to reduce the allergens. Wash your bedding, throw blankets, and curtains weekly if you can in hot water. Run a HEPA air purifier in key rooms where you spend a lot of your time, like your bedroom or your living room, or your office if you're like me and you basically just live in your home office. And then my favorite option, declutter. The less clutter, the fewer surfaces for dust to cling to, and the easier your cleaning routine becomes. And like I said, even just adding 2 or 3 of those habits can dramatically reduce the allergen levels in your home. So if you are struggling, it's worth trying. All right, now it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show, listener Q&A. I love hearing your questions, and these 2 really stood out this week. So the first one I have is from Jenna in Burbank. She says, I have seasonal allergies and 2 big dogs. Is there anything I can do to stay ahead of the allergens without driving myself nuts cleaning each day? And honestly, Jenna, that is a great question. So here's what I would recommend. Vacuum where your dogs hang out every other day. Not everywhere, just where your dogs hang out. Brush them regularly outside. Like make it part of their regular routine. You go for a walk, you give them a brush, and then they come inside. And then you're going to want to try using washable throws, like throw blankets, on your couches or on the floor, wherever they sleep or lay. So you can quickly pick them up and toss them in the washer and get them clean and get rid of some of those allergens. And then you're going to want to try spot cleaning with microfiber mops as needed. Jackie swears by them. And for our second question today, this one comes from a gentleman named Leo in Glendale. He says, he asks, do you recommend any specific products or tools to allergy-proof my floors? So, yes, Leo, thank you. These are some of the tried and true methods that we use in my own home. So, vacuuming, we have a HEPA filter vacuum. Right now we've got the Miele, but I have seen the Dyson work pretty well. We have the allergens anti-allergen spray, which helps to keep the pet dander down. So my parents, when they come to visit, they don't have that. My dad's allergic to cats, and I have 5 of them. So 4 of them. Yeah, I have 4 of them. And he's allergic. So the allergens ADMS spray has actually been incredibly helpful. And then for a cleaner, we either use 7th generation or Procyon. Both of those are very helpful in just making sure that whatever we put on comes completely off. The neat thing is once it's mixed with water, it's pretty much neutralized, so you can wash it down the drain without worrying about the after effects of it, which is fantastic. And then some other tools that I would definitely recommend is a robot vacuum like a Shark or a Roomba, and microfiber mops. And when it comes to microfiber mops, you're always going to want to make sure that they're damp, not soaking wet, because that way you're cleaning the floors without leaving anything behind. It's a complete game changer. Okay, so we've got a new section this time. It's called From the Pros, Quick Fixes with Jackie and Peter. So we're going to take a minute to hear directly from our pros, Jackie and Peter. And, they've been doing this for years. So when they drop a tip, I'm always scribbling notes. And I figured this would be a really good time to compile some of those notes. So I asked them to share their top allergy season floor care tips that anyone can do starting today. Tip 1 was use a HEPA filter vacuum on furniture. Now, I know I mentioned several times using a HEPA filter on carpets, HEPA filter vacuum, oh my gosh, on carpets, but this one is a little bit different. You want to try and use those vacuums on furniture. Jackie says this is one of the most overlooked spots. Couches, pet beds, throw pillows, they trap just as many allergens as floors. So if you use a small vacuum attachment or a handheld HEPA vacuum to go over those small surfaces twice a week, then you're really helping to reduce the allergens in your home. The next tip is to always dry your carpets completely. Now, Peter generally warns against spot cleaning, but if you absolutely must, make sure that you are drying completely as quickly as possible. Even a little leftover moisture, he says, from spot cleaning can lead to mold growth, especially in spring when humidity rises. So again, if you absolutely must spot clean, use a fan to dry the area within 12 hours. If it's still damp, blot again and keep the air moving. You want to make sure it dries so you can avoid mold growth. And the last tip is kind of a no-brainer, but at the same time, also just I don't know how to explain it. Just call before it gets worse. Jackie says that a lot of people wait until they're miserable, and a lot of allergy flare-ups could be avoided if people just scheduled floor and upholstery cleanings as a preventative measure and not just a reaction. And honestly, that is such a mood. Like, that mindset can save you time, money, and discomfort. And yet for some reason, we always wait until the very end. Totally not calling myself out here. So anyways, there you go. Straight from the experts. Simple, smart, and totally doable. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. And if you're still with me, I want to take a minute just to acknowledge you. I know life gets busy and it's super easy to overlook the small things, like what's living in your carpet or how your cleaning of products might be affecting your air. But the truth is, it's often those small things that have the biggest impact on how we feel in our homes. And during allergy season, that impact can be huge. Whether you're a parent just trying to help your kid breathe easier at night, a pet owner battling fur and dander, or just someone tired of feeling stuffy all spring, know that you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not helpless. With a few mindful changes like better vacuuming, non-toxic products, or a good professional deep clean, you can change the way you live in your space. And honestly, that's what Sparkle and Shine is all about. It's not just about cleaning. It's about creating a home that supports your health, your happiness, and your peace of mind. Now, speaking of cleaning, next week we're tackling a topic I guarantee will make you say, wait, I do that. Spring cleaning mistakes you don't realize you're making. That's right. We're going to break down the most common spring cleaning blunders, like cleaning in the wrong order, using products that damage surfaces, or skipping areas that really matter. Now, we talked a little bit about like the ultimate spring cleaning checklist. I just quickly want to touch on the things that you're like, hey, Laila, you missed this, because I did get a couple of those comments, and I just want to explain why I didn't miss those and what those extra steps that you may be doing, why those might be hurting instead of helping. So what I'll do is I'll give you some smart swaps and simple strategies so your spring cleaning actually works without the frustration, wasted time, or unnecessary effort. It's going to be super practical, a little eye-opening, and definitely helpful. So don't miss it. And if you found this episode helpful, would you share it with someone you love? Maybe a family member who's sneezing their way through spring, or a friend with pets who might not realize what's hiding in their floors? Together, we can help more people feel better right at home. And until next time, stay kind to yourself, breathe deeply, and as always, keep shining.